A Nicholasville babysitter accused of abusing a 4-month-old was back in court this afternoon. We'll have the latest from what happened coming up.
Classmates and colleagues gathering today to remember a UK student killed last year.
And a warning from the Division of Forestry as wildfires continue to burn across much of the state.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
A Jessamine County baby is improving after Nicholasville police say she was abused by her babysitter. The case against Erin Thompson has now been waived on to a grand jury.
Police say Thompson was caring for the 4-month-old at her home when the child was injured. A doctor at UK Hospital says Kylie had skull fractures and brain swelling. Hillary Thornton has the update in the case in our top story at 5:30.
The babysitter facing those charges, waiving her right to a preliminary hearing this afternoon here in Jessamine County District Court, sending her case onto the grand jury.
The court appearance for Erin Thompson over in just a matter of minutes, however, still extremely important to the family of the 4-month-old she is accused of abusing.
It's important that she knows that somebody's there for Kylie. That, you know, no matter what, even if there's 2 words spoken, we're going to be there to hear it.
Even though at times they say it is difficult, family vowing to be at each and every court proceeding moving forward.
It's upsetting just because you want to just go up to her and ask her why. You know, why would you want to do that to a child?
Investigators say they were called to Thompson's home earlier this month after EMS crews found a 4-month-old with what they called serious physical injuries. Little Kylie Joe's family saying she suffered a skull fracture, brain damage, broken ribs, a broken leg, as well as enduring several seizures and a stroke.
She's doing a lot better.
In fact, making enough improvements to make the move this afternoon from UK Medical Center to Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital, where she will begin her therapy.
It's a relief because we weren't expecting that. We were expecting her to have a longer road, which it could still come out that way, but it's every day she's improving.
The family thanks the community for their prayers and support and is asking that those continue, saying they believe that is what has gotten little Kylie Joe to this point in her recovery. In Nicholasville, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Family members say that Kylie Joe's mother and father have not left their young daughter's side. Tracking a developing story out of Louisville where a child was found dead in the back of a van this afternoon at an elementary school. Police say the van was in the carpool lane at Guttermuth Elementary School where an attendant noticed the unresponsive 3-year-old in the back. The child was pronounced dead at the scene. We'll continue to track this story and bring you the very latest on WKYT and WKYT.com.
This afternoon, classmates and colleagues at the University of Kentucky took some time out of their day to reflect on the life of Jonathan Kruger. Kruger, a photographer for the campus newspaper, the Kentucky Colonel, was murdered a year ago yesterday while walking near campus. As our Victor Puente reports, the ceremony did not focus on how he died, but rather how Kruger lived his life.
Thank you all for coming today. It's great to see so many friends and relatives here today for Jonathan's memorial.
Noontime on campus. For most, it's a time to switch classes or go to lunch. But today the focus is on the memory of a sharpshooting photographer.
What I would like to do is join and celebrate his life, talk about him, remember him today.
Sunday marked the 1-year anniversary of Jonathan Kruger's murder. Kruger was a photojournalist at the campus newspaper, the Kentucky Colonel. Today, students, staff, and family are remembering the good times.
Your expedition awaits. Head off into the great unknown. And that was one of the last entries he made for our class, and we miss him very much.
I think to know that all this support is here, so thanks for that. We'll make it.
It's very sweet of you to carve time out of your days with some finals creeping up, and I appreciate it too. Thank you. Thanks.
Kruger would have turned 23 years old last week. In his memory, a scholarship fund has been established. His good friend and co-worker at the Colonel, Michael Reeves, is the first recipient. Reeves says the award is bittersweet.
I just hope that in 30 years, when nobody knows him, I hadn't personally met him, that his spirit will be here and fingerprint that none of us could leave.
When I think back to that morning a year ago, I never thought I would meet all of you. And learn about the Colonel family.
Now Kruger is on the front page, a picture that will be etched forever into the memory of those who knew and loved him. On UK's campus, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Michael Reeves will receive $1,000 in scholarship money per semester. So far, more than $60,000 has been raised toward the Jonathan Kruger Memorial Scholarship.
Friends and family are gathering right now in Mercer County to say goodbye to a murdered teenager. The visitation for 17-year-old Tristan Cole is underway tonight at the Alexander and Royalty Funeral Home in Harrodsburg. Cole's body was found in a field last week. Police say he'd been shot. Another juvenile is charged with murder and robbery in the case. Cole's funeral is tomorrow afternoon.
Opening statements have ended in the trial of an elected official accused of harassing a young woman. The trial for Perry County Clerk Haven King began today. King is charged with harassment, reckless driving, menacing, and stalking. Last April, a woman told police that King followed her for miles and harassed her for driving a car with a handicap sticker. The woman recorded the incident. The jury will return at 9 tomorrow morning.
A father is behind bars accused of abusing his 5-year-old son. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Casey County. Liberty police arrested 35-year-old William Luttrell last week at his home on Wall Street. According to his arrest citation, Luttrell is charged with hitting his son over the forehead with a wooden guitar. The child's aunt took him to the hospital. Staff there called police after finding multiple bruises on the child's body. Luttrell is currently being held on a $10,000 bond. In Harlan County, state police say an 11-year-old boy is in critical condition after being hit by a car while riding an electric scooter. It happened Sunday afternoon on Sally Rachel Lane in the Cobalt Estate subdivision. The child was taken to a local hospital and then flown to the University of Kentucky Medical Center. The accident remains under investigation. The driver has not been charged at this time. And in Laurel County, London police say they arrested 2 people who were found passed out in a car at a gas station. Officers were called to the Speedway on Kentucky 192 in London on Sunday. Police charged 26-year-old Amanda Eversole and 29-year-old Robert Collins. Police say Collins was slumped over in the passenger seat of the car with a lit cigarette between his legs. Police say Eversole was asleep in the driver's seat. Officers found drugs and drug paraphernalia inside the vehicle. Both face multiple drug-related charges.
A beautiful start to our work week, and it looks like the sunshine will be sticking around. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is basking in that sunlight.
Yeah, exactly right. Boy, what a weekend we're coming off of, Sam, and we're starting out the work week on a rather June, or dare I say early July like note out there. A lot of thermometers low in mid-80s this afternoon. 84 right now, Jackson and London. Lexington, Frankfort at 83 degrees. All 4 locations with a partly to mostly sunny sky. And you look at that temperature map. Boy, oh boy, every location again into the 80s this afternoon. Now, if you're out and about this evening, no worries in terms of precipitation. Not a whole lot showing up across the Bluegrass State or even surrounding states off to our west, though some ice crystal clouds beginning to stream on into town around a big upper level low that is coming out of the Rocky Mountains. That'll head toward the Bluegrass State over the next couple of days. Between now and the arrival of that system, it is a summer preview not only today, but into the day tomorrow, and if we're lucky enough, we could squeeze another 80 out on Wednesday. Storms, though, will eventually try to crash the party. We'll track those when I come back in a matter of minutes.
The Division of Forestry is asking Kentuckians to hold off on burning in these dry conditions. Forestry officials say the dry conditions and the lack of rain in the past 2 weeks has made fires a significant hazard in the state. Just today, crews say they're working dozens of fires, including several that are already more than 100 acres in size. The largest number of forest fires seems to be in eastern Kentucky, where fires continue to burn in Letcher, Perry, Knott, Pike, and Floyd counties. While there are no burning bans in place for campers, forestry officials recommend using camp stoves or grills instead of building a fire.
Maybe you know this feeling. Taking a pet to the veterinarian can be an ordeal, but there are now high-tech services that will have your pet feeling right at home. When Yana Stimler's golden retriever Jay-Z developed a skin condition, she knew getting her to the vet would not be easy.
She gets anxiety every time we even walk past the vet.
So she used her smartphone to have the vet come to her.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lashansky. Nice to meet you.
The doctor works for a new app called InstaVet. Pet house calls range from general checkups to vaccinations, even end-of-life care.
Okay.
The doctor says they can be more effective than a traditional visit to a vet.
They're not stressed. You don't have to stuff them into a carrier or try to get a car to get them to the vets. Well, sometimes you can actually reach a diagnosis much easier at home.
Other free apps, including Vet Prompto, offer similar services. Another called Vet on Demand allows users to get a video consultation with a vet. The doctor was able to give Jay-Z a shot for her skin problem and will need a follow-up visit.
More exercise is probably your...
InstaVet charges $150 a house call, but Stimler says it's worth it.
So you think Jay-Z would be comfortable with another home visit?
Oh, for sure. She loves it.
You want me to say this?
And right now, InstaVet is only available in New York and San Francisco, but they have plans to expand. If an animal needs more specialized care or even surgery, the company will refer clients to a licensed animal hospital.
The UK College of Engineering receiving a large gift this afternoon. Find out more about the donation in 6 minutes.
I'm Bill Bryant. Democratic presidential candidates start eyeing Kentucky's May 17th primary. And a new poll indicates most Republicans want the person with the most delegates before the convention to be the nominee. The bottom line is ahead.
Coming up on WKYT News at 6, we'll hear more from friends of a Lexington cardiologist who was killed while riding his bike in Bourbon County this past weekend.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Don't be chicken. Come into Captain D's for our Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of seasonings for our Nashville hotfish. Also try our catfish feast or grilled tilapia and shrimp skewer meal. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Mr. Lover, now Mr. Lover. She call me Mr. Bombastic. Fantastic, touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. On me fantastic, touch me on me back, she says
you live life your way.
Smooth.
We can help you retire your way too. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
Now take me thin, no pill.
Raise your hand if you haven't been to the dentist in over a year. I'm coming to you.
Aspen Dental wants to make it as easy as possible to get to the dentist. They have something that will make the exam cheaper than that drink in your hand. Bam. Why don't you get on a group text to make sure that you all go? What day did you say?
Thursday anytime.
You're in Thursday at any time.
That was pretty easy.
No insurance? Get a free new patient exam and x-rays.
My work is done here.
Dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
It's ancient Greece. You're a shepherd tending your flock and you're hungry. You reach into your loincloth and remove 2 euros you bought for 6 iron coins. As you take your first bite, you notice a disturbance in the flock. A lion has taken sweet Euclides. You continue to eat, a lion in your own right. Man, sheep are hard to keep alive. Arby's, we have the meats.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. Because you were made to live, and live well. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
Building the only trucks with the best horsepower, best towing, best torque, and best payload takes guts. Overcoming any obstacle, that's the glory. Get a great deal on the trucks that give you both during Ram Truck Month.
Returning FCA US lessees finance and get $10,750 in total values on the purchase of a 2016 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
If you have questions about your accident, the consultation is free, and you don't pay us unless we're successful. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5.
Don't be chicken. Come into Captain D's for our Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of seasonings for our Nashville hotfish. Also try our catfish feast or grilled tilapia and shrimp skewer meal. For full meals starting at $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary is fast approaching.
And Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr is seeking his third term in Washington. Bill Bryant has the bottom line.
Good evening. We are now inside a month until Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary on May 17th, and the campaigns are beginning to get organized in the Commonwealth. Over the weekend, Tim Hogan started working social media and other communications efforts for Hillary Clinton's Kentucky campaign. Clinton herself was at a high-dollar fundraiser in California yesterday with Kentucky native George Clooney and his wife as the hosts. She is now back campaigning in New York City ahead of the primary tomorrow. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders has Kentucky supporters who've been having some small get-togethers and other events as the weeks go by, and Sanders focuses now on New York and California before heading to Kentucky. The last day to register to vote and be eligible for the primary is today. If you have not signed up, you've missed your chance to do that in person because local clerk's offices are for the most part closed now, but you can still register or make changes to your registration online at WKYT.com. We have that information on our website. Some encouraging signs ahead of tomorrow's New York primary for Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. A new Wall Street Journal NBC poll shows 62% of Republicans believe that if no GOP candidate has a majority of delegates going into the convention, the one who has the most delegates should be the nominee. Only 33% of Republicans say delegates should choose the candidate they think would run best in the fall. And Trump looks well positioned in New York and several upcoming states in the polls. Central Kentucky Republican Congressman Andy Barr has a very strong financial advantage as he seeks a third term in Washington. Reports out today show Barr has $1.3 million on hand compared to $75,000 for Democrat Nancy Jo Kemper, and Democrat Jeff Young reports about $7,000 on hand. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
The University of Kentucky College of Engineering received a large gift this afternoon to rename and transform their Department of Biomedical Engineering. The college received the $7 million gift from UK alumnus F. Joseph Howcom and his wife. And the new department will be named in his honor and will be the first named department of the College of Engineering at UK. The Center for Biomedical Engineering has been a part of UK for 30 years, but only became an official department back in 2013.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Blue skies across the area today, and oh yeah, a little taste of summertime across the Bluegrass State. Not exactly early enough to open up the pools for many of us just yet, but boy, it is certainly pool weather out there, isn't it? Look at our WKYT weather garden beginning now to show off a little bit on this fine spring day. Starting to see the buds that are coming out there. 83 degrees. Wait. 83 degrees, that's right, 21% humidity though, so the air is bone dry. You typically do not get 80s with a humidity close to 20% around here. You got to go back to the west and especially into parts of the desert southwest to get in on numbers like that. Usually it's a dry heat that is out there across Kentucky. If you're out this evening, those numbers will drop slowly but surely into the mid and upper 60s by the time we hit 11 o'clock, but an absolutely splendid evening across the region. Defender Radar Network, it's calm across Kentucky now. To our west, though, some clouds beginning to increase. We'll notice more clouds tomorrow than what we had out there today ahead of a storm system that will eventually throw at least some scattered showers and storms our way Wednesday into Thursday. We're entering a period, by the way, where we could use a little rain. It's dry across central and eastern Kentucky. We want those May flowers to look good. Right now, the April showers just not really doing much for us across the region. They're non-existent. 57. First thing tomorrow morning, into most areas, we jump it into the upper 70s to low 80s again tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's one of those days to where temperature will be 80 to 85 unless we get some overcast that's a little thicker than what I'm thinking. Then you got to settle for upper 70s. Yeah, the misery of that. 67 degrees by 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Hour by hour into Wednesday. 50s to start with a mix of sun and clouds. We'll make another run at 80 degrees Wednesday afternoon, and it is late Wednesday into Wednesday evening. Anyone is fair game for a shower or a thunderstorm to blow up during that time. Better chances will hold off until we go into Thursday and Friday as of now. Temperature still on Thursday into the 70s. May drop it into the 60s. That's normal on Friday. Then a quick bounce back, 75 to 80 degrees over the weekend next week getting my attention as finally some spring thunderstorms are going to try to show up in that long-range forecast, guys. Short term, though, it's all about summer for another day or so.
You said this weeks ago. I remember out here going, we're going to go right into summer. And here
boom,
we are.
And here we are. And next week, I'm going to tell you now, I do think the pattern next week into Derby week is going to get active with the potential for some strong or severe thunderstorms.
Well, as long as we're not going back to winter.
That's a good point.
Good, right?
We'll steam ahead.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic this afternoon, and police are working a collision on Nicholasville Road near Moore Drive. It has the 2 right lanes blocked there close to the circle. That's causing some issues for South Lime, trying to get past that point and in front of the mall. Other than that, drive times holding our own into Versailles. Traffic looks okay past the construction project and on toward the Castle and the county line. Also to Nicholasville, still about 12 to 15 minutes. Now back to you in the studio.
7 new members will be going into the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame, Rob.
Scotty Davenport is among them. What a career he has had in coaching. We will hear from him. And the blue-white game over the weekend, ending spring ball for one Wildcat. The long wait of playing in a game finally coming to an end. Sports is next.
Chernobyl was contained 30 years ago.
The worst nuclear accident in history won't stop these geniuses.
We are the someones that are supposed to figure this out.
CBS Tonight.
Run! Every time you've loved someone, it ends painfully.
It'll be Chernobyl 2, the sequel.
This is not happening.
We're getting out of here together.
People know Window World as home of the original 189 window.
But that's just the beginning. We install siding, too.
Our siding comes with energy-efficient, form-fitted foam.
Guaranteed for life.
Window World, simply the best siding for less.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You can play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold, fueling imagination, funding education.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
With Whitaker Bank's new home equity loan, I only had to pay 1% of my balance back monthly.
Whitaker Bank lets qualified applicants borrow up to 90% of your home's value to use now or down the road.
I had 0 closing costs with the help of Whitaker Bank and the power of the equity in my home.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
We hid cameras in 2 different cars, the Chevy Equinox with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi and the Ford Escape without.
Chocolate chip, chocolate chip.
Keep your legs down. Feet up, put your leg down, please.
Chevrolet is the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Find your tag and get a total value of $2,250 on this Chevy Equinox. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
I love Spain. This food, the wine, the tapas. I want to stay here forever.
Well, we're not in Spain. We're home.
I know, but this food is so delicious.
Then it's like a Spain-cation.
Head to Kroger for authentic recipes, specially imported foods, and delicious meal ideas at the Taste of Spain event.
Cook up fresh Perdue boneless chicken breasts for just $1.99 a pound. And sweet red, yellow, or orange bell peppers are now 10 for $10 at Kroger.
Nominate your favorite teacher for Teacher of the Year. They could win a $1,000 gift card, and you could win a $500 gift card. Go to WKYT.com/teacher.
At Window World, you get the best price right up front
Our windows feature the Good Housekeeping seal.
and come with a lifetime limited warranty.
Act now and get a house full of windows for as low as $79 a month installed.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
Spring practice concluding Saturday with the blue-white game, and probably no Wildcat was more anxious to get on the field than linebacker Courtney Love. Love transferred in last year from Nebraska, was not eligible. He has not played in a game since 2014. That was against Iowa. He figures to play a key role in the fall, and he was ready to get going.
200% ready. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Finally get out there and play, and had to sit out a long year in exile. I was talking to Cash. He was he's a little bit banged up, and he had to miss a couple practices. And he's like, man, I feel like I'm in exile. I can't hit. I can't do anything. I'm like, man, I was a whole year I couldn't play. So, it's fun to finally get out there with these guys. And a lot of guys came up to me like, man, you're finally out here. It's fun.
The newest class going into the Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame introduced this morning in Louisville. Sean Alexander, Philip Haywood, and Kyra Elzy are among the class. Also being inducted, longtime basketball coach Scotty Davenport. The Louisville native has had a storied career, winning a Sweet 16 state title. That was with Ballard in 1988, and also winning an NCAA Division II championship at Bellarmine in 2011. His honor is extremely personal.
And I've looked at those plaques my entire life. And to think that one of those plaques is going to bear an inscription written by my sons and my daughter-in-law is very, very special.
A pair of Kentuckians in the running for the coaching vacancy at Nicholls State down in Louisiana. Kentucky Wesleyan coach Happy Osborne and 2001 South Laurel graduate Richie Riley. Now, Riley is currently at Clemson. He has also spent time as an assistant at UAB, EKU, Coastal Carolina, and Pikeville. He has never been a head coach. Happy Osborne had what a career at Georgetown. 456 wins, 84 losses in 15 seasons, going to the NAIA semifinals 7 times and winning the 1998 national title. Osborne also led Montgomery County to the boys' Sweet 16 semifinals in 2013. And Kelsey Nunley is the SEC softball pitcher of the week, second week in a row. Nunley went 3-0 on the week, all 3 coming against top 20 SEC teams, LSU, and 2 wins over Missouri. Nunley is a candidate for Softball National Player of the Year. The latest on Marquise Bolden and his decision coming up in the next half hour. Stay with us. We'll continue here on WKYT after the break.